podcast for the culture. Wild thoughts.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Wild Thoughts. We are in the house, and the house is packed. We got Mars Blackman back with us 2 weeks in a row. You know what I'm saying? Got a little streak going 2 weeks in a row. We got V-Ray, the usual suspect, up in this joint. Hey, man, we got so much to talk about. It feel like the world is moving at 100 miles a minute. But let's talk about some music. The Clips just dropped a single called So Be It. We just listened to it before we came on the air. I listened to it a few times yesterday. Bro, let me tell you something. The Clips are back, and I feel like they the Clips. They not trying to do nothing different. They not trying to, they came back with a Clips record that sound like the Clips, and I'm happy about that because that's what I was hoping for. I was hoping they wouldn't try to be like, oh, let's try to be like what today sound like and all that, this, that, and the third. Like, no, it's a Clips record. So if you like the Clips, you like Pusha, you like No Malice, you'll like this record. If you ain't a big fan of the Clips, you're probably not gonna rock with it. What's your thoughts on it more? Oh, and did you hear at the end where he took them shots at Travis Scott? That whole last verse was about Travis Scott.
Yeah, I
didn't catch that. I have to listen to it again.
Yeah, he said she got her lip gloss, so she don't need your money. And then he said that whole line where he was like, she was up in Calabasas and all that.
He's talking about Kim Kardashian.
He's talking about another Kardashian.
Okay.
Yeah, he's talking about Travis Scott. So I wonder why he beefing with Travis. But anyway, I like it. I like all the smoking hip hop right now. I'm with it.
To be honest with you, I think it's a ploy to bring out old boy.
Can't hear you, Rob.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it's also a part of a play to bring out old boy.
Who, Drake?
Yeah.
You think Drake gonna take the bait?
Yeah.
Nah, Drake. Nah, he'd be fucking crazy to open his mouth about anything. He should go on and push his record and stay far and away from that shit.
I mean, if it's true, the amount of stuff in which he's been trying to do to kind of stop Kendrick's momentum, and considering everything in which he was doing at UMG to block Kendrick from being on that album,
I will say this to V-Ray point. Think about how many times we said, "Nah, Drake ain't gonna do that."
Yeah, but at this point though, this far down the road, bro, and after he's just been basically humiliated and he's a punchline, damn near now. It's like, why would you? What could you bring to the table right now in a battle? You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna start beefing with somebody, it's like, dude,
because just like Stephanie said, after calling himself going off on that politician, Drake best bet is to keep his mouth closed. That's what I'm saying. Like, then this just happened a couple days ago.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Because Drake saw somebody that he thought was one of his supporters at the Kendrick concert, so he blocked them and started wilding on them. So I feel like he still ain't learned his lesson. I feel like he's still on that same energy, but I don't know, because I heard, if I'm not mistaken, Mars, Clips and Kendrick actually got a record together too, right?
Yeah, that's what I was.
Yeah, and they had recently they had a listening party, and everybody said that Kendrick song has the energy of like that times 100. Like, people said that shit just had people like, oh shit. Like, they're both talking about somebody.
He on a tear right now, man. Like, he's Super Saiyan right now. That bro is just in a space where, when you just winning and it's hard to. He got it right now. He got that glow. He's the last dragon. He's Leroy.
Yeah,
you know right now.
This little motherfucker is taking his tour to Australia, right?
Yeah. But like, he shut down Drake's hometown. Yeah. I was interested to see how that would look, because the flip side of it is I don't think Drake could shut down LA right now.
He never could. He never will.
I mean, he had good shows out here, but like the way Kendrick shut down his hometown, and they asked him to do Not Like Us like 6 times again there, in his home, that gotta hurt, man.
Yeah, it's I think LA would respond that way just out of spite. You know what I'm saying? He got fans like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
I don't think they show up like that for him here, and especially not the live response that Kendrick got.
Yeah.
These people ever.
Really feel like you like him and like another rapper as well, especially another rapper he's beefing with. Like these people have personal relationships with him. That's that elementary school stuff. I'm not a friend. You can't be there either. I can't be there for
Mean
you.
Girls shit.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know, man. I just feel like I feel like Drake he refuses to learn his lesson.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because even if you've seen some people you just stay out of it because it makes you look
That's what I'm
small.
saying. That's what I'm saying.
It makes you look small, being like,
risk
you there?
it?
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
all y'all went? Like, yeah, like, I think people really don't understand that Kendrick is the biggest hip hop artist right now at this moment. You know what
People
I mean?
understand Drake. Drake just don't.
So Drake still ain't figured it out. Like
he ain't
number
gonna
one.
ever accept that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just not in his DNA to do that.
But the thing is, I would say that Kendrick has been the biggest hip hop star since The Pimp a Butterfly.
Well,
I mean,
no,
that may be true.
like I think he was the top 5, but I think Drake had been literally the king of the castle for a long time. Like, I know after this, I think people forget Drake was running it for a very long time.
But Drake was more so because of the pop crossover.
Yeah, for sure.
But Kendrick was more culturally, you know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, I don't think there's a question that Kendrick was always more culturally relevant, but I think before Drake was exposed, I think he was accepted by the culture a little more freely. Like, you know what I mean? Like he wasn't like right now, I feel like he's like the bane of hip hop existence, culture wise.
I go a little bit further. I'd say the reason why I say, in my opinion, he's the biggest since To Pimp a Butterfly, knowing what we know now, everything that went on to manifest Drake's hype with the bots just to stay on the charts. You take that, you factor that into the equation. Kendrick is organic.
Yeah. Well, but I think you could, even without the bots, like V-Ray said, he was the pop side of it. Like Kendrick has always been the streets and the culture and the underground come to life. Drake was
ruled their lanes.
Yeah, but I think Drake coveted the respect that Kendrick has.
Absolutely.
And I think he thought he was getting it, doing the records with 2 Chainz, doing the records with doing the album with 21 Savage. I think he felt like he was getting it. And right in the midst of him feeling like he was getting kind of that, like, not underground respect, because I don't think he would ever got that, but getting more of like the hip hop head respect. I think once he felt like he was getting that is when when Kendrick came in and knocked the whole house of cards down. Because because this all started because he was doing a record with J. Cole, and J. Cole's the epitome of like hip hop. You know what I mean? So I feel like he was covered in that kind of space. Like, I want to do records with J. Cole. I want to do records with 21 Savage. I want to do records. He's starting to get into that space. And I think Kendrick kind of just came through and kicked the buildings down in the middle of Godzilla his whole career in the middle of like his rise. Because I feel like if he would have got that side of it, I don't know how Kendrick would have been able to knock him off his square if he had really got solidified as like, oh, he got the pop side, but he also got the hip hop culture side. And I feel like he was getting away with it. And then, Kendrick Scooby-Doo masked that nigga like, Drake was a fraud the whole time.
Yeah. Drake Smithers.
Like, that's what it felt like. It felt like he just got undressed, like Kendrick totally undressed him. You know what I mean? And like I said, I hope if he feels like the clips, because he had beef with Pusha T too, so you got Pusha T and Kendrick on the record together, he might be compelled to feel like, I gotta say something.
Well, I think he is gonna fall into that trap of trying to say something, because with all this quote unquote whispers of him calling himself not Bobby Drake Iceman, it's like, what the fuck? So that leads me to believe that he has a project coming. After you're hearing and seeing everything that's been going on, I just think the sucker in him is gonna be like, I can't go out like that. I gotta do something. I gotta say something.
I think he just need to, and I know we say this probably down there every show. Nigga, just go make a hit record.
That's
But
all. That's all that's required.
Just
You ain't gotta take no
go
shots at
make a
nobody.
hit record. Yeah, nigga,
Sing on the
just
hook like you used to do, and
yeah.
just
but
be
you
that.
but
And
do you think?
there's no shame in that, you know.
Mhm.
But no, that's too much like right, as Granny Heard used to say.
Yeah. What up, Rico? Stephanie said, I think if he didn't let his head get bigger than his britches, he would have been okay. But his ego and cockiness had him believe it was okay to go after these people. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. I still feel like he ain't really, Shannon. Yeah, that's a caveat too. She said, make a hit record without dissing anyone. Yeah, I mean, like literally,
Yeah,
just go make a good Drake record. You
right.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's dope. He said his mom was a Kendrick's English teacher.
mm, but the thing is, how do you go about making a hit record when you can't do the collaborations with the folks that was giving you the hits?
He can get a new. He can get it, man. The way he been trying to tag team on other artists anyway, he can get some unknown nigga that's all the smoke. I mean, from a lyrical and talent standpoint, not trying to clap at niggas, but you can team up with somebody unknown. You don't. A good record's a good record. You know what I mean? So I don't think he needs to necessarily have the old people, just as long as he utilizes that same kind of formula. I mean, you know what made him a hit in the first place and shit. Do a song about his broken heart or some other shit and sing on the hook, and those are Drake records. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science.
You would think.
I'm just saying. I mean, of course, it's from the armchair. It's a whole different conversation than if you were actually Drake. But it's
So,
just
so let me.
you've done it a million times before.
What do you think the likelihood is he collaborates with Kanye?
Well, Kanye,
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't do that either. If Kanye produced, I'd get tracks from Kanye, but features and shit, no. Kanye's he's another poison pill to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you got the other associations with him after the record. Like the record could be bomb, and you can't add to the drama or anything from the record itself, but you still got to promote side by side, maybe perform side by side. And Kanye is going to do something. You know what I'm saying? You're already Drake, so you don't need no other black eyes on your shit at the moment.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Shannon said him DMing that Canadian politician shows what a goofball he is. He's a pariah now.
Yeah.
Like he that dude who like got beat up at school and went to try to go to school the next day like he wanted to fight. You
You're
know
right.
what I'm
Exactly. Exactly
Everybody
that. You get enough, nigga? You had enough?
saying, yeah. Everybody's
Oh,
looking.
kicking
He
your
walking down
ass?
the hall like
Yeah. like the My Pillow guy that got killed in court yesterday and comes out declaring victory and shit in the press conference outside. Like you're
yeah.
aware you lost. That means you lost the case, right? Like, yeah, we're gonna celebrate it. Like you dumb,
Stephanie
bro.
said, I don't think Drake needs to do a song about broken hearts either. Not right now, at least. He's going to be the butt of jokes for a very long time. If you put out a good hit, it just needs to be a party hit. Nothing about
Yeah,
feelings.
I was joking about the broken heart, but I'm just saying, go back to that formula. Like the what was the joint he did with the damn, I can't believe I can't say Nicki Minaj, the time of my life for life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something
Yeah.
melodic like that, or like that was a part to me that had a cool party vibe and shit like that. But something more along those lines. The formulaic Drake is what he should throw back to right now.
So in other words, as Kendrick Lamar says, I like Drake who be singing that one.
Exactly. I mean, that's everybody though. I don't think that. I think Kendrick Lamar said that part out loud, but I think that's the general consensus.
Yeah.
If I had to choose between that and Drake and 21 Savage, you know what I'm saying? It would be the old shit versus the new.
Yeah, Stephanie says songs like Truffle Butter. Shindo.
Yeah, or even what's the
Uh,
the
I love
ringtone?
bad bitches. That's the problem. And they're like the like songs like
That,
that too. He had
that
like a little
too.
run with those kind of records.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, anything but diss records, bro. That's
Yeah,
the
well, I will
wrong
say
formula.
I heard a sample of another record from the Clips with that Pharrell did, and my God, it was nasty. It
I
felt
thought they
like
was kind of shitting on Pharrell a minute ago on the record.
I don't know what
You
Pharrell's
didn't
doing
think
this album.
so? Yeah,
He's
because they
doing
said something about no Neptunes.
yeah.
Well, he
You
said that
know,
because they broke up. No, he was saying that because Neptunes broke
all
up.
the Neptunes themselves broke up. I thought they meant they parted ways.
No, no, no. He was saying the Neptunes broke up.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, that's
Chad
the whole
and
news, though. Yeah,
yeah. But it's the first record they doing,
right.
and
Yeah,
the Neptunes did all their records.
right.
Kendrick said I like Drake with the melody. Yeah. But
Yeah,
yeah, so the other record I heard, man, let me see if I can find it. Just play a little bit of it. It was dope. It was really dope. But yeah, I feel like the Clips is coming back and it's gonna be another good hip hop album.
Hey, why don't you run the song right quick or a part of it?
The one that we just listened to?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, let's listen to So Be It. We're gonna do a little bit of So Be It. So y'all can hear it. Those who haven't heard it, we're gonna do a little clip of So Be It and discuss. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on, let me pull it up. Here we go.
16,000 square, 8 million up there, 2 million down here.
The visuals are crazy.
When I was born, grandmama could see it. I be Bentley driven and very strategic. Our rims sleeve, no diamonds are needed. Floors are heated, so be it, so be it. Fucking with P, get something to meet you. Your soul don't like your body, we help you free it. Then we wait for TMZ to leak it. It ain't no secret, so be it, so be it. Smoke. So be it, so be it. Smoke. So be it. CLIP, SCFB, A-Ball LV. I can show you how to bust a brick if you let me.
All right, I just play that so they won't try to take it down. Take the show down.
Yeah.
Shannon said, "Do you think Travis Scott is going to respond?" I hope so. I mean, he been going for it, so this might be the thing he need to bring him back a little bit. And like I said, I'm all for the smoking hip hop if he gonna come with it. Hayne said, "I told you about Pharrell top 3 favorite." Yeah, you did. Like Pharrell been beasting for a very long time. I got to give it to him. Got to give it to the guy.
But what could Travis Scott say that would get hip hop heads be like, ooh, especially against Push?
That's a good point. I don't know. Do you think he got it in him?
I was about to say some niggas ain't built for battle rap. They do the mumble shit, or you know what I'm saying, whatever they are quote unquote good at, but everybody can't just grab the mic and just slice another MC, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You better come with it if you're gonna do it. It's like come big or stay home, go big or go home.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Maybe Travis should sit the next couple plays out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but I don't know. You know, the egos these days, especially when from dudes believe their own press releases and shit. They be like, I could take him. That's how Drake got in the position he's in now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna murderize them niggas and then come back with his head in a basket.
Okay, I found the little short clip of the Clip's other song. Hold on, play that shit. just so y'all can hear what vibe they on.
No confessions, questions, we contesting. Fireworks will send a message, iridescent. Slow them down like Robitussin. If you rush in, at your door and we address them, we gon' bless them. Tried to bring them, should've left them. Learn my lesson, poker faces keep them guessing. No expression, ice dressing on my chest and leave impression. What's a testarossa if you don't test them? Ain't your bitch unless you joystick and dress them. My presence, your pleasure. Peasants, he's pressure. I've been knee deep, key deep. We in ZZ's, me and Lee. Get you fronted for the summer so easy. The snow alone, fill up a mobile home. My nigga's name ring like mobile phones and no one's home. White back-to-back rolls at my gates. White slave master souls in my safe. White python, Manolo is the taste. She want a Mike Tyson blow to the face. Twist and turn, these guns blitz and burn. Too many flip and turn, had to get rich to learn. The basils of the nasal, that's case closed. Got a team full of J-Bows on their toes. Niggas measly, cheap as reasoning, believe me. I can tell cause your bitches look needy. She want Mike Tyson, blow to the face. Slalom height, she want snow on a plate. Half price when the blows in the crates means more ice for the moles and the ace. Made $1 million off a flow to the nays. Niggas saying that it won't just the face. 911 turbo with the glaze. Top dollars poking holes in the case. No confessions, questions, we contesting.
These niggas is rapping.
Yeah, that they are.
These niggas is rapping.
So
You know, I think Pharrell went back to, because Pharrell did what was the name of Push's album where he did half and Kanye did half Mars?
I was listening to that shit earlier. Daytona.
No, the one after Daytona, Dry.
It's almost dry.
It's almost dry. Yeah, I feel like he kind of went back to that bag, which is good because he don't really need Chad for that bag.
Right.
Because Chad is the more musical side. Chad is going to give you the bridges, the stuff that needs keyboard parts and all that. And I feel like Pharrell can handle the heavy lifting on this because he don't need that. Shannon said, I don't think Travis has it in him. Push is savage with no holds bar. Yeah, Push is a beast, man.
Yeah.
What sample is that far? So I don't know. I don't know what sample that is. Shannon, I'm going to have to go listen again.
Did you read the GQ article?
From
interview that Push did?
Yeah.
I gotta read it.
He was saying some stuff in there.
Mm-hmm.
Push is like, to me, he's one of them enigmatic artists because he don't really like lie in his interviews. He don't play the industry game. Like if you watch him on Drink Champs, he don't really play the like industry political answers. He gonna give it to you straight. So that's what I think is dope about the GQ article.
Mm-hmm.
Rico said Drake is funny. One of my homies let him get a tour of Compton up close and personal, and he put a diss track with K. Yeah, that's what I say. But all those kind of stories that I be hearing, that's all the stuff that just goes towards that. Like, he was wearing a mask. I think if V-Ray disappeared.
Nah, I'm here. I'm fucking around with these backgrounds.
Yeah,
get my laundry out the background and shit.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Like I said, Push called that man a monkey. Listen, I'm loving this for hip hop. I think hip hop needs this, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were like in a little lull, and I think that's the one good thing about, good thing coming out of the Drake and Kendrick is I think people, like Joey Badass and Rayvon and Prince, Angelus, like I think people really just like, oh, I can get back on the mic, like, you know what I'm saying, like, and I think that it's breeding more dope hip hop because which honestly I thought this was gonna breed a dope album from Wayne. You know what I mean? Because I thought like this was his retaliation for not being called to the Super Bowl. You would think the album is gonna be like, oh, let's show him why I should have been, one of the main guys in the Super Bowl. This nigga V-Ray disappearing like a Back to the Future picture. Like,
y'all just gonna have to see some draws in because nigga. We apologize in advance.
Speaking of new music, did you get a chance to listen to Slick Rick's new album?
Slick Rick got a new album?
Yeah.
Oh, is it out? I know he was working on it. I didn't know he dropped already.
How is it?
I like it. I was shocked that shit is only 27 minutes.
27 minutes. Wow.
How many songs is it?
I think. Hold on. I think it's like. I'll tell you exactly what it is. Slick Rick the Ruler. And he sounds like Slick Rick. It is 15 songs.
15 songs in 27 minutes?
Yeah.
How the heck? Everything is a minute.
Wow.
But it was like I was excited.
I mean, yeah. The old school's coming, man, because like the LL Cool J album was super dope to me. The last Eminem album was dope. Like the old cast is actually coming with it. What are you talking about, Shannon, in regards to Logic and Juicy J? What'd you say, V-Ray?
They got
No, I said it's a void that they're feeling. You know, I think the youngest of the young heads is feeling these the rap style and production style that's out now. But you know what I'm saying? There's a void for that classic hip hop feel, that the foundational hip hop, and I think that's where the lane is if these people are able to step in.
Yeah. So like I hope it inspires, you know what I'm saying? Like I hope this at least inspires a new generation to be like, yo, we want to kind of rap like this. I'm sure Kendrick, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't the actor dude from The Wire executive produce Slick Rick? That's what I heard.
Oh, I don't know.
I didn't know. I'm gonna have to go peep.
But you know, another thing.
Logic and Juicy J got a collaboration album out. Oh, I gotta go check that out.
Oh, wow.
That's a mix I didn't see coming.
Yeah. I forgot what I was about to say. I was gonna say that I think this the new era that's being ushered in by Kendrick and stuff is cool because it obviously makes being lyrical legit again, because for so long dumb has been cool as fuck, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Hip hop and shit. So having a vocabulary and being able to do metaphors and similes to a degree where it's catchy, people like, oh wow, did you hear what he said? You don't really hear that these days. So I think that the intellectual piece of hip hop is making there's a resurgence.
So do you think that we're gonna get an Andre record?
I hope so.
I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised, honestly.
I hope so. Was that a new verse that was like floating around the internet a couple weeks ago from him? It was just a verse. It was just a verse of Andre. Agnes says, so Clip's gonna be still talking about selling bricks at the. I think so. I think that's what they're good at. Mm-hmm. they do drug rap.
Yeah. As far as Andre, they said that he owes him one more album.
Yeah, but if you don't never do an album, they can't come like pull an album out your brain. You know what I'm saying? It's up to him to do the album.
Yeah, that just means he's still committed to them contractually for the most part. And they got the first.
I guess the future can still talk about Perk at 43. Exactly. I just think the Clips are really good at brick rap. That's their home base. But I think it's gonna be a little different because I know Malice is not really on that page, right? So I think Malice is gonna be talking about some different things. So at least half of the album is not gonna be brick rap, Agnes. Yeah, I think 3000 just got, because he's the type of artist, and I mean it's in an artist way. He's like an artist who has to really be inspired. He's not just gonna make a record for record's sake. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? He had to really be like, oh, I really got something to say. And I think that's what his issue is. He said, I don't really know what I got to say right now.
Especially at his age.
And it's crazy. They said the Flute album didn't even count towards his deal.
Right. They refused it.
Yeah, they refused it. That's crazy. That's cold.
No, that actually ain't crazy, because I would have been like, this is not your fourth record. We can't get jiggy with this shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's get into this other stuff. Oh, so I don't know if y'all heard the Grammys are changing the Grammy Award for Best Country Award because Beyonce won. Of course, you know, white fragility says that we can't let black people do nothing, so we literally got to change the award for the rest of the country artists to feel like it's still an even playing field. So now they're gonna do like a traditional country artist and a contemporary country artist, which is interesting because I don't think they did that when like a white rapper won best hip hop artist, or you know what I'm saying? Like,
well,
You got,
didn't
you
they
got
start to look down at the Grammys, which is why they started really pushing the Country Music Awards?
you should say that again.
Didn't they start looking down at the Grammys even before Beyonce's release, which is why they were putting all the emphasis on their Country Music Awards?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so if that's the case, then like why, go to all this trouble?
Because
that may be
somebody
the
white
Grammys doing that from a healing standpoint, bridging, trying to win them back versus the country people putting their foot down and demanding this thing. You know what I'm saying? That could very well be from the Grammy side of things. I mean, the Grammy committee side of things.
Yeah.
To heal that rift. But it's funny. It reminds me of like when what's her name? The gymnast. Damn, I can't believe everybody's name is slipping today. What's the name? The GOAT. The
Simone Biles.
Yeah, Simone Biles. They started like making rules. They started inventing new rules because she was so outstanding. And then the ice skater that was doing the backflip, and they kept disqualifying her because
nobody else could do it.
Yeah, like what I'm saying, stop being so damn excellent. Okay, we're gonna have to make a new rule. That's like the tush push rule of gymnastics and ice skating and stuff.
Yeah.
And now the Grammys is like, if they have to make a new lane because I guess because black folks is doing what they do and shit. Just that when the black hockey players start taking over and shit, there's gonna be some changes in that.
Like,
shit
black, no fighting. Like what?
Yeah, right. Because there's superhuman strength. So the fights won't be fair any longer. Big Rex.
What's going on?
Don said on Instagram, he said 3,000 for sure gonna put out a verse, but I don't think we're gonna get an album.
I'll even take an EP.
Yeah,
I'll take a 2-3 song EP.
If him and Big Boy could do one or two, that would be dope.
Yeah.
With some of the old school, with the original production that they had.
Shit, I'll take some unreleased songs.
Yeah, for real.
That would be cool, but I'd like to hear Andre's perspective at his age now, with with coming with some new shit. That would be dope.
Young Southern Playalistic Andre 3000. I'll listen to some unreleased songs.
I mean, I would too. I'm not saying that I wouldn't, and I would definitely enjoy it, and I'll buy it and all the other fanboy shit. But I would like that 2025 perspective. Just like how he came on what's the name? Mike's record with what's the one he featured on? Killer Mike's record, yeah.
Oh, I know that verse was hard.
That's what I'm saying. That's some new age Andre 3000 shit.
Yeah, Mike is good for getting him to like pop up on his stuff.
Yeah, that whole record was dope.
Yeah, that record, but his verse on that damn record, man. I listened to Dre verse 1,000 times, and just his rhyme scheme, the way he was popping off one word to another to switch up the rhyme scheme in the middle of the sentence.
Yeah.
Scientist and engineer.
Yeah, science and engineer. I was like, what the hell rhymes pattern is this?
So wait a minute.
Killer Mike's verse on that was dope as shit too, though.
Yeah. No, listen, that whole song was killer because I love what Killer Mike said, like the choir, but just Andre 3000, man. There's something about when he decided to jump on the verse after a long time.
Yeah.
And again, when he decided he got something to say, right, where he like, oh, I got something to say. But Killer Mike did say that Andre 3000 damn near had an album done.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, Dave, and I resort to you as a writer. Do you still keep writing even when you don't have to?
In regards to what?
Like just out of habit. Do you find yourself just writing like little verses or whatnot?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. I do.
So chances are he does have stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, that's what, because like I said, to me, he's an artist, so I don't think he's not still writing. I don't even think he's stopped recording. I think he's just not really releasing stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think he probably still writes all the time because I think he's when you're creative, you know, you tend to just be creative
Right.
in whatever shape, form, or fashion. You know what I'm saying? You tend to be a creative, so
Right.
I don't know. Like I said, I think he's one of the premier like actual rap hip hop artists, and I would love to hear an album from him. Oh, Serial Benali, that's the figure skater, V-Ray.
Oh,
that
okay.
was doing the backflips.
Right.
Country culture has been dissing anything that's not country since time began. They were just talking mess about the BET Awards and how all these outlets are not real awards, aka not white. True writers never stop writing. Yeah, like I said, like I'll find myself like if a song comes out and I like the beat, I'll just write a verse to it. I'm not gonna record it or nothing. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I just like the beat just for myself.
Yeah.
I'll just write a verse. You know what I mean? And then that'd be it. You know.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that Andre does that because that's how he ended up on Walk It Out. He just heard the Walk It Out and was like, I like that. And then just got on the shit and had like a classic verse on a dance record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the Throw Some D's remix. You know what I mean? The stuff that you like. How did he end up on there? They said Dre literally just like, you know how Michael Jackson, they said Michael Jackson used to go through the studio and jump on people's backgrounds just for the hell of it, just for fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think Andre is kind of cut from that same cloth. Willie said ever since that Badu, my boy went left. I don't know. I think he made some of his best music after Badu too, Willie.
So jumping back to the Grammys. So did you hear that now they're giving the Grammy Award for album covers?
They are?
Yeah, that was part of that announcement with the country music split and all that shit.
So how do you feel about that?
I think for the artists it's dope because you imagine like all these artists been creating these dope album covers for all these years and not really getting recognition. So I think it's dope in that sense. Like you think about like the people who made like the Nirvana album cover, those classic Earth, Wind and Fire album covers, you know, for them to be able to get recognition, I think it's dope. And I don't think it takes away from anything else. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it takes away from anything else.
Yeah, they do art direction and shit like that for movies, so
yeah,
it makes sense.
Yeah.
They better not have one of them pen and pixel looking motherfuckers show up and win and shit. And they get a bathtub of milk with two great things and shit. Tall ass money in the back and shit.
Stephanie said they were giving away awards for best video, so why not best album cover? Yeah, because I think it's all part of the visual medium.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that's dope. Before we get to World War III, should they get a Grammy or a certificate? I think they should get a Grammy. Because the album cover and all that to me is part of the entire project. It's part of the whole process. This is a good one, Steph. I forgot about this. Why is Dietrich Haddon Panties in a Bunch behind Glorilla winning Best Gospel Album at the BET Awards? So
I can see that.
I see both sides of this. I can see that because everybody like, well, first of all, Glorilla had literally just got finished shaking her ass and then won the Bobby Jones Inspirational Award for Gospel. But to me, I feel like out of all the BET awards that's given out, the Bobby Jones is literally the only one given out for gospel artists. So for a gospel artist not to win it does kind of feel like a slap in the face. Like, yo, you got all these BET awards going out the whole entire night, and we only get one. We come to this award show because we only get nominated for one, and we only get a chance at one. And then we can't even win that one. So I do understand it from that side. But also, you know, she had a little gospel slap. You know what I'm saying?
Was it a whole album though? I thought it was a song.
No, it was I think it was a song, just a song.
Okay, I was about to say.
Yeah, just a song with her and was it Kirk Franklin?
I don't remember who it was. But yeah, I see it. It's kind of a protest, kind of like Beyonce winning a country music award. You know what I'm saying? Like the pushback from that seems like the same kind of pushback from excuse me, because a non-traditional artist won the category, right?
Right.
But I would think that BET Awards, since it's I won't say black owned anymore, but it is a black centric show. Just expanding gospel categories. What's the problem in doing the same way the Grammys like do? Best performance or best duo, and you know what I'm saying, best new artist, and all those same lanes that they do for the other categories. Excuse me, and expand the gospel to make it not just one and done. Because that's a huge. I mean, it ain't what it is. I guess a huge field to lump in choirs, singers,
Yeah.
group duets, whatever types of usage that they are, and expand that category to make more opportunities. I would do. I think that would be good.
Stephanie said, "What I don't understand already is that how the BET Awards, to be an award show for our culture, does not acknowledge more gospel music. Gospel and jazz is the roots of where everybody else's music come from. So why have they always been guilty? I think because, outside of the BET Awards, the BET also did the whole entire Dove Awards. Like they did the whole entire gospel awards that were just gospel. So I think that's where they feel like we actually do the gospel awards. So then also we're going to give an award at the actual BET Awards. That's what that's what I feel like is the thinking behind it. But I think it's a little different too, V-Ray, when he says like the same pushback from Beyonce, because I feel like Beyonce did a whole I think Beyonce did a whole album and a whole campaign as opposed to Glorilla doing one song. You know what I'm saying? And winning in that category with one song. And I think that's kind of what Diedrich's issue, where like she literally did one song and won this award. And we basically we live this. And I know that's how the country people feel.
Yeah,
Also, but also black folks started country. You know what I'm saying? Which I know they don't want to acknowledge. So that's why I think it's different.
Yeah, well, I just meant from it being a non-traditional country artist, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
First goddamn Shabuzi.
Right.
Tradition versus no tradition is a way.
What up, cousin Earlene? She said traditional versus non-traditional is the way the Grammys been doing it. Yeah. I mean, and I think because of the changing landscape of music and how everything is kind of just like blending into each other,
yeah,
you're gonna get a lot more. You're gonna start to get a lot more of this. Like all the genres is kind of starting to meld into each other. So you're gonna start to get a whole. True. Yeah, I think this is not the last you're gonna hear of like non-traditional artists winning in certain categories.
Yeah,
because of the way music is going.
You don't even hear albums A&R the same way that they used to be. You know what I'm saying? With these genre merges and stuff going on, ain't no telling what you'll hear on some albums.
Yeah.
So to your point, I think that's absolutely right. And honestly, I like the genre bends and twists and blends and stuff like that.
Well, that's where we come from. You know,
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that.
So I get it, because a lot of times when they used to try to put black folks and black artists in particular in the box, I feel like a lot of black artists are kind of finally getting out of that box. Because you see people like what's my dude name? Felicia the Goat.
Tyler Creator.
Yeah, like Tyler Creator album got so many elements of like hip hop, rock, opera, choir, but it all fits well. You know what I mean? So when you get artists who are pushing envelope and making records like that, or even Kendrick's album that spans from just like regular West Coast slaps to like introspective to Pimp a Butterfly type records, I think like you said, V-Ray, everything is kind of changing, where they used to A&R album and be basically like, oh, you got to stick within these lines in order for you to hit radio here, and in order for us to put you in this award show at this place in this space. I think it's changing drastically. So that's what we're getting. I want to ask y'all a question too about where y'all stand. So ICE has been on the loose in California. I'm talking about popping up everywhere. ICE is like goddamn Freddy Krueger, like the boogeyman out here. So there's been, I feel like, two sides of what black folks have been feeling in regards to this, and I want to get the audience, where do y'all fit on each side of this equation? There's some black folks who've been like, look, if they coming after the Latinos like that, and they picking up citizens and getting rid of them, you know who they're gonna come after next. That's one side. So we need to fight with them to try to stop, you know, what's gonna be on the horizon for black folks. And then on the other side of it, you have black folks being like, look, we voted for the person that wasn't gonna do this to y'all, and 50 to 60% of y'all voted for the man that's doing this to y'all. This ain't none of my business. So let me ask y'all where y'all fall on each side of the argument, and how do you feel about, you know what I'm saying, those both sides of the equation. Don't be scared.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
I thought you were talking about the audience should respond.
Oh no, y'all too. Y'all too.
No, it's like, following up on, our discussion from last week, I fall on the side where it's like until you are willing and show that you are capable of holding your own constituents accountable for voting, until you've addressed Latinos voting for Trump, don't expect another demographic to jump in your side. That's where I stand.
Okay.
Like, it's fucked up, but at the same time, it's like, to paraphrase what you said, Dave, it's like, this is what y'all voted for.
Yeah. Shannon said, why does solidarity always come into play when it's a call for black people to get involved? Let's sit this one out. That's a very good point, Shannon. I feel like, one, if we talk about historically and we go back and talk about basically all of the civil rights that all other minorities get being on the back of black folks' back. And when black folks, like when it comes to reparations, those minorities tend to not support that. When it comes to things, that we feel like when they say things are going to be done specifically for black folks, a lot of those minorities tend not to support that. So I agree with you. It is interesting that when it comes to like that solidarity, we always are called upon first. Like, what are the black people going to do? Where the black people at? But when shit is getting thick for us, I don't feel like there's like a vast amount of people running to try to rescue us either. Stephanie said, honestly, I don't agree with people being here illegally and being able to reap the benefits that citizens can't get because of it. However, I don't believe how they're going about it. Removing these people from the country is humane by any means. Cousin Arlene said, I say power in numbers, but we need to educate them on democracy and what it stands for. Willie said, down the streets from my job, and since I was the highest ranked non-Latino, they asked ICE to come to the job. Would I be right if I tell them they need the search warrant to enter the premises? But I'm also on that they voted for this, because when they asked who I was voting for, they got mad when I said Kamala. So yeah, so listen, I think all those points are valid. I really think all those points are valid. Willie, don't let them push you on the front line, says I think all those points are very valid, and that's why I say this is one of the times I see both sides, because I can empathize with what they're going through, but I also feel like, because they like, come protest with us. I'm like, well, I feel like black folks protested when 90% of us voted for Kamala. We protested in November when we said, hey, y'all, we don't want this, and y'all said, no, we don't want a black woman. You know what I mean? And I think that's where a lot of people are. That's what a lot of black folks are feeling, and a lot of black folks are exhausted. A lot of black folks are tired.
Yeah, with everything that was going on during the Black Lives Matter, did you see a lot of Latinos in the front line? Let's be honest. George Floyd, did you see a lot of Latinos in the front line?
Well, my thoughts on it is a couple of things. One, what we're seeing now is a dress rehearsal for the way shit's gonna be. All this stuff attacking the Latino community right now is basically allowing them to carve out the legislation that's gonna let them operate with impunity when they go, mainstream, if you would, with it.
Yeah.
But all these laws are getting established. They're having all these Supreme Court challenges and all the stuff like that. And remember, it's 3.5 more years left of this practice and shit like that. So who's to say at year 1.5 they ain't gonna turn the whole thing on the black population too? They're already getting black, if you will, destinations for people to be exported to, like Ghana and stuff like that. So they're doing it right in plain sight. They're snatching up these people just to see what the reaction is. If nobody is going for it, then it becomes the rule of law, and then anybody can get it. You know what I'm saying? And it's definitely going to targeting black people next. It's probably going to be targeting black people simultaneously soon because this shit is working its way through the courts and stuff like that. And even if you don't feel like you got to support it because of the Latinos and try to get this revenge sit out kind of shit going on, do the shit for selfish reasons because you know that you going to be next and shit. You know, the way that they already try to change the narrative and talk about there's, you know, the black rate of crime is way higher than the white rate of crime and blah blah. This has been historical. So all this ammunition, all this fodder, I should say, is going to be some of the grounds for trying to like get a motherfucker with like from a weed case to parking tickets to murder. All these motherfuckers is going to start getting snatched up. They ain't presenting no IDs, no warrants, no shit like that. They just snatching motherfuckers off the street in masks and shit like that. So that's going to go down with anybody if they don't get the pushback to keep them legit in the courts and shit like that. Because the Supreme Court and these courts are hitting them here and there with losses. But if they do have 40 cases and they lose 6 and shit, you know what I'm saying? The majority of the trend is going toward what they want to accomplish. And once that shit is in place, everybody can get it. Black, brown. You notice there's no white criminals getting kicked out of the country and shit like that. I'm sure there's plenty of rapists and child molesters and bank robbers and all this other shit as well. But what I'm saying though is like the targets are obvious. You know what I'm saying? That's never been a thing. So I would say respond just for your own fucking self-preservation. You ain't gotta. You may not want to go out and protest alongside the people that you mad at and shit like that, but you better protest on your own fucking behalf. You know what I'm saying? Because when Uncle Tyrone and Lil Pee Wee and these niggas start coming up missing and be over, hey nigga, I'm in Ghana. Get me out. Call me a lawyer and shit like that. It's gonna be like it's too late now because the shit is law. It's the way it's done in America, kind of shit.
All right, let me read some comments. Stephanie said, great example. Some LMU students had the student union building and that was run down, and the Latino students didn't have a building at all. The black students welcomed the Latino students to use their building along with them, and then the next thing you know, the Latino students were out protesting to get a new building. When the black students said, all right, let's band together so we can both have a new building, they said, no, we want our own.
Wow. But the divide and conquer mentality and shit. This is like, to me, this is some of the blueprint anyway for to make sure the motherfuckers are divisive against each other while the person that's really pulling the strings on the shit is fucking both parties and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm gonna piggyback what you guys are saying. I think one of the things to me, and this is just sparked in my head, with everything that is going on, and I'm targeting or focusing most on Latinos, I've yet to hear them say we need to recalibrate our vote and vote with X party for the upcoming midterms. I haven't heard any type of conversation like that.
I'll bet that should have become as much displeasure as there is with the things that are going on even within the Republican Party, especially in the Latino community and shit like that. That's gonna be a conversation, unless they come up with a fix for how they were forming out the presidential vote and leaving the other Democratic ticket votes in place and shit like that. Unless they do some more shit like that, I think all this chaos is being sown is going to be the trend that changes the tide at the midterms. That's how we're going to get some of this legislation control again.
Let's read some comments. Shannon said, V-Ray, we know that's the ultimate plan, but we need to organize ourselves. Adam said, why don't they just create more programs for illegals to become legal? Oh, because that's not what they want.
No, they don't want motherfuckers to be legal.
Yeah. V-Ray, they need to apologize to us and come with a little humility.
Nobody's going to do that, though. That's what I'm saying. Who the fuck's going to be the lead Mexican to say, nigga, we sorry. We understand where we fucked up. That shit's not going to happen. That's what I'm saying. And every example is them versus us kind of shit. And that's what I'm saying is is the divide and conquer type shit that has always been in place. To pit black women against black men where they can't be together and can't get together, or at least put that shit out there in the ether where it becomes a thing. And now you got black women saying, I don't need no motherfucking man, all that. It's not even and it's not even a rarity anymore. It's more regular than anything. Now this shit, like the Latinos and the black people are beefing with each other about the election and shit. And I get it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that niggas should go out and protest with the brown people or stand in the way when ICE is trying to grab motherfuckers and shit like that. But for your own preservation, motherfuckers better organize and get a plan together. If not the plan to bond with the brown people and shit, which makes fucking sense. But you can't not do nothing. We can't sit this one out kind of shit. That shit don't make sense. Not now.
Stephanie said most racists will never acknowledge that they are racist, nor that they were wrong in the decisions they've made. Shannon said, oh, well, then they made it them versus us. We are always trying to unite with everyone.
Well, I'm saying unite with if you just want to be the divisive and unite with black people, somebody needs to do something within the black community. You know what I'm saying? Go out and protest this shit on your own, because you know it's coming for you next. Like, why wait until ICE starts grabbing motherfuckers 6 months or a year from now?
Willie said the Latino community is just as bad, V-Ray. I work with them in their convos. They had Trump hats and baseball cards at my job till ICE started importing their families. Now they want me to go to the gate to talk to ICE. When I asked them what was Trump's policy that would help, they couldn't name one policy. So the only reason was she was a black female.
Well, fuck them. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the gate. I'm just saying, don't go to the motherfucking gate and be like, nigga, don't be trying to come in here and all that shit like that. But at the same time, motherfucker, understand that your ass is next. You know what I'm saying? Who the fuck you gonna talk to when they come trying to take your ass off the job and shit? Like, who are you gonna ask to represent you? You ain't gonna have that. So put that shit in place now. You know what I'm saying? They doing this shit like a hierarchy, like black is above brown and then who's above black? Asian and then white, and like what's the tiers that this shit is operating on? You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody needs to fucking understand that we all are vulnerable. This is a plan to have a white dominated country, period. I don't give a fuck what nationality you are. So nigga, Mexicans go organize, black people go organize, Asians go organize. If y'all ain't gonna be smart enough to fucking figure out down the line that this shit is strength in numbers, you better fucking at least individually come up with some defense mechanisms and shit. You know what I'm saying? And just being better off at the moment than the Mexicans is not that's not a W.
And I think and this is some of the sentiment that I've been seeing hearing. Karen said now Trump needs illegals for farming. Absolutely. Willie said he agreed. I think the thing that's been perturbing people is like, y'all can call on us, but don't call us out. Right? Like you can call on us to say, hey, how can we band together? Because I've seen a few posts like that. And we also got to understand social media is not going to amplify the shit that's about unity. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that too. But when you see these posts like, where the black people at? Why y'all not helping us? That I think rubs people the wrong way, right? As opposed to like, because that feels like you're calling us out. Like, you're not doing what y'all supposed to do. Y'all supposed to have our back. That like, you don't get to call us out right now. You can call on us and say, what can we do to organize? Can we do to unify? And I think that's the difference, right, V-Ray? I think it's really just the difference in how the conversation is being had. So like, you don't have to come apologize to us, but also don't be saying you calling us out like we're doing something wrong for sitting this out, when like we feel like there's people who really feel like, look, 95% of black people did not vote for this dude. We did our part. Y'all voted for this dude. Y'all actually like, and you know, I seen one post where the young lady was like, before y'all call out black people, won't y'all call out the Asians too? Because about the same amount of Asians voted for Trump too. 60% of Asians voted for Trump at the same rate as Latinos, and black folks been nonstop working for everybody's civil rights. And then when it's time for something specific for black people, all those minorities that we work for to get them on the civil rights, they be like, nah, we not rocking with that reparations bullshit. We not, you know what I mean? So I think that's a lot of what's making people you know what I'm saying, kind of feel away at this moment. What up,
Well,
Keon?
you know, I'm breathing. I'm breathing. Right. But hey, you know, I was gonna say, I'm not sure that black people always fought for everybody's civil rights. I think that was just a windfall of black people fighting for themselves. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
yeah, no, I'm not saying, but I'm saying like, no matter what, the benefit
They
of
got the benefit exactly.
yeah, they got
So,
the benefit off of us all the time, no matter what. If it was just for our own selfish reasons, like you said earlier, no matter if it's just for us, they all got to benefit. Even as recently as 2 years ago, when they had the Asian hate crime bill, everybody like, why we ain't got a crime bill for black people? Like, well, that bill was written off of a black civil rights bill. They was able to make that executive, you know what I'm saying, that executive order based off the civil rights that black people have fought for.
right.
Shannon said, I just feel like it's so easy to dismiss the black impact until they need us. I'm tired.
I agree. I do agree with that as well. But I think from a self-preservation standpoint that, you know, even with all of those points to be made, the to me, saying that we sitting this one out is like how niggas be saying, nigga, I don't even vote, motherfucker. That shit ain't real. No. That shit is like, bruh, don't, you know, it's real. There's some action required. We have a role in this shit. Even if it's just for selfish reasons, motherfuckers cannot afford to sit that shit out.
Keandra said, Shannon Perkins, same. That's why I stayed inside. Glad I did, because there was someone that drove into the crowd out there. I saw it coming.
Yeah.
Well, and even more than that, the crazy thing is, and what people have been saying too, they're like, even if this is a protest for Latinos, once black people get on the front line, we are going to be more in danger than anybody else. And we just know that as a fact of being in America long enough. And Trump even talking about, can we just shoot him in the leg? Who do you think they're going to shoot in the leg? You know what I'm saying? But I think two things can be true, V, right? We can do things for self-preservation because we know what's coming next, but we could also speak up for ourselves when we feel like people trying to shit on us for not joining a fight. When you like, yo, this, like, y'all asked for this dude, you know what I mean? Like, so I do think two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Keandra said it changes things when we show up. It really does.
Black women vote, all of that shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they always relying on black women to save the damn democracy. Always depending on black folks to be the first to step out and call out injustice. Always depend, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, that's fine if you want to depend on, but don't act like we have to do it. That's why I say call on us, but don't call us out, because it's two different things.
Yeah.
You want to call upon us to have a call to arms, I'm with that. But if you getting on Al Gore's internet talking about black folks, y'all sitting at home and this ain't the time to sit at home, I feel like you don't get to do that. Mm-hmm. That's how I feel. You was about to say something, Mars?
No, I agree with you.
Keandra said, the thing we have to remember, we had to carry papers at one time. We were the first who had to carry papers and were denied citizenship. Our sacrifices are what got everybody civil rights. Aaron Reeder said the Democrats have been using black people for decades. Well, and the crazy thing is they didn't even use us right this time. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't. Like, when we talked about that, like, first of all, like, not to go all the way back into everything, but we do got to give a bit of context. The blame of this shit ain't on Latinos. The blame of this shit ain't on, it's the biggest blame is on Joe Biden, because his ass wasn't supposed to be running for a second term. That man said, I'm a one-term president. I'm here to bridge the gap. And once he got a bit of that power, he like, fuck that, I'm not leaving. He was like Leonardo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not fucking leaving. I'm not fucking leaving. Like they did. So, and we don't talk about that enough, right? Mm-hmm. Because if he would have did what he was supposed to do, then Kamala would have had a chance to have the whole process of running, you know what I mean? And also, I don't know, man. I think we let Biden off the hook too much for a lot of the shit that's snowballing happening. Yeah. Shannon said, I blame them old Democrats. Yes, Shannon, me too. The Nancy Pelosi's of the world, the Chuck Schumers, y'all got to get the fuck up out of here. You know what I mean? Because the other thing that we're dealing with, you know, not to get all the way into it, but the other thing we're dealing with is you got a bunch of Democrats who are not truly progressives. You got a bunch of moderates, and moderate is doing nothing for, like, being a moderate Democrat does nothing for people of color, black folks, Latinos. You know what I'm saying? Like, being moderate, you have to truly, in order to pass the right kind of legislature, in order to do things that are actually going to be impactful, you have to be truly progressive. And I think that's where the Democratic Party is messing up right now. They've been progressive on the wrong shit. Y'all not being truly progressive when it comes to the things that'll bring prices down, when it be, you know, or being progressive on the things that'll make more black entrepreneurs, being progressive on the thing, because that's the things we want to talk about, right? We want to talk about trans kids being able to transition. That's not the biggest thing on our plate right now. Y'all putting resources into that when you should be putting resources into how do we make more black entrepreneurs. Don't we care about more than criminal justice, because the only time they want to talk to us when they want to say, oh, we talking about criminal justice reform. Yes, we need that, but all black folks ain't criminals either. They'll only come talk to us when it's talking about criminal justice. We need criminal justice reform, but we need economic reform, because if we have economic reform, then we'll be better in our neighborhoods to be able to do the things to take care of our people and to take care of our communities. And that's not happening. So talk to us about the things y'all need to talk to us about. Keandra said, yeah, Biden should have been setting her up. She said all of them, all the old outs are effing up the system. The world is different. The way you campaign, politics, every day. Exactly. And the cold thing is, Keandra, they're fighting against the true progressives in the party. Like Nancy Pelosi on them, they don't like the AOCs, the Jasmine Crockett's. They don't like them loud, boisterous young girls and up and coming. I know there was a guy you was telling me about. I think he's from Texas. Rob, new up and coming Democrat from Texas. Like the old regime is fighting against them because the new regime is actually trying to really be progressive. Let me read this. Stephanie, considering the amount of people who did not want Kamala Harris to win, I don't think it would have mattered if she had the entire time to campaign. Yeah, I think he definitely should have done that initially. But seeing how many people definitely did not want to have this black woman in office, I just don't think it would have made it. I think it would have made a difference. I think it would have made a difference because we all know how campaigns work. The amount of money she had, if she would have had that kind of war chest from the beginning and was able to, but in it, there's so many other factors too, Stephanie. I'm not saying that's all there is, because I think another mistake that they made is y'all saying y'all want Kamala to win, but then you don't want to let her break away from any of Joe Biden's policies. You set her up for failure. If people are already saying we need to get him out of here because he's old and he's out of touch, then you put the new candidate in and make her say the exact same shit that Biden was saying instead of breaking away. Like, she should have broke away on Gaza. That hurt her. She should have broke away on the economy because he kept saying the economy good. Like, yeah, well, all these people don't really feel like that. So she should have been like, I know the stock numbers are good, but we got to figure out how to get more money in people's pockets to pay for groceries. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he was out of the race, y'all should have been like, look, Joe, we're going to have to throw you under the bus in order to win this election. But what they did was they made her seem like she was going to be Biden 2.0 or Diet Biden. That ain't helping nobody. So, like I said, there was a lot of mistakes made. But I feel like, to me, those are the things that snowballed into where we are right now. And again, I'm not letting the Latinos off the hook for 60% of them voting for Donald Trump. I'm not letting them off the hook for that. I'm not letting the Asians off the hook for 60% of them voting for Donald Trump at that rate. Shannon said they weren't really looking at her as a presidential candidate. They were pushing for Hillary early. They always pushing for Hillary. Yeah, anyway. Economic reform will stamp out criminals. 98% of the criminals I know don't want to be, but they don't have a choice or another way out. Yeah, well, we already know that. She said it makes sense. Willie said true that. So yeah, like, these are the things that, like, I think these are the things we should be arguing about and fighting about, and not arguing and fighting about are we beefing with the Latinos or not? Because that, to me, the thing is, at the end of the day, none of that shit is gonna mean progress for us. And I think that goes to what V-Ray even said earlier. Like, even if you just doing your shit, your push for selfish reasons, for self-preservation. So like I said, they got talking to Sudan So why you think they talking to Sudan about being
Yeah,
able to send people to
Sudan. Yeah,
Sudan?
not God,
Like,
Ghana, but yeah.
yeah, because they got El Salvador to send anybody that look brown or Mexican, and now they're gonna get Sudan to send anybody that look black. And if you think they know the difference between the Sudanese, Haitian, African American, I'm here to tell you, there's something else.
And man, and another thing that comes into play. I know it sounds hella conspiracy theory-ish, but that Rockland case is getting some momentum where they were talking about how the votes were for Kamala Harris weren't being logged, or the Democratic ticket was logged for everything except for the presidential vote. And I was reading some details about what they allege was the process how they did it, and it was through Starlink. And
Yeah,
have you seen that
yeah,
where they did like an update at the last minute,
yep,
just before election day? I think the night before they did some kind of an update, and with it going through the backup systems. Well, first off, some billionaire bought the company that makes the backup systems, the batteries, and the UPC systems. Like when there's a power outage and the computers need to stay on, they
yeah,
have. And I'm in IT, so I know that they have permissions to write and read to the computer system, because they gather statistics to be able to tell people like how the computers perform and if it's due to fail and stuff like that. So they have like an administrator permission to write into the computer. So they use that as a back door to be able to to patch a lot of these voting machines, so that they have this trigger to route the presidential vote and leave other stuff untouched. And it was only in blue states. For what I read most recently, a couple of days ago, was that they're seeing that this pattern was happening in the blue states, like the swing states that it looked like she was like just dying in, like it was in North Carolina. I forget what states are, but that played a lot into and it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But that had a lot to do with the voting trend as well. So I'm not sure that the votes were calculated in favor that were intended for an all Democratic ticket. Like if you go in and just vote all Democrats and all your senators and all that shit get the vote, but the presidential vote doesn't count. That's a hell of mystery, or a hell of a coincidence for me.
Like even thinking back that election night, like for me, I was kind of caught off guard because he got to such a gigantic lead.
That's what I'm saying.
Fast.
I mean, it was like inordinately wide in states where he wasn't doing well previously. So,
well, Willie said my argument with the Latino community is they don't listen. I told them what was going to happen. I told them what Kamala was running on her policies. They laughed and said Trump is going to make it better without no explanation of his policies. Stephanie said, well, yeah, well, we already knew they fudged those votes. They outright admitted that. Yeah, you know what, Stephanie? I said, I think people forgot. I think I talked about this right after the election. Elon Musk, they said he left the election party hella early and was like, they're like, you leaving before, they called a victory? He like, oh, he won, and bounced. And they were like, that's before the East Coast even start counting. And he was like, oh, he won. And then Trump, because he can't help his damn self, Trump was like, Elon is really good with those machines.
Yeah. And he was even saying on the campaign trail that if once I get in this time, you won't ever have to worry about
voting again.
Yeah.
And then also Elon's recent comments about how he helped print rent.
Yeah, but even with all that being speculative, now that they have this some physical stuff to look into as far as how these machines were updated and the way that they had a path into being able to edit the machines and stuff like that, it makes sense. It's not just theory when they can explain what the process was and how it was done.
Yeah.
And I used to work at when I first came back to LA. I don't know if you knew this, Dame. I used to work over in Santa Monica, and it was for the company that was doing the voting machines. The voting machines we use now, where you stick the piece of paper in there, and it comes out, and then you have to put it in again. And I was working there, and I was looking at how it was, and I was thinking from a movie script standpoint that this would be the ultimate type of heist movie because of the way that they have the machine stored and the way that keep them off of the internet, but they still have to be able to update the machines and fix the problem, the proprietary software problems when they happen. And so it was like understanding from an IT standpoint, like these machines are gettable. You know, this was 5 years ago, 6 years ago when I first came back out here. So to see it explained now is like, that makes perfect sense and how it could have been done. And it's pretty genius because they did it from satellites. So there's no internet, to go through, because these machines have a Wi-Fi or like
direct link,
directly into the machine. You don't have any path to track or any log, or the person that has the log is the person that did it, so they can just basically make the log whatever they want.
Shannon said, "Can we deport Elon for these illegal?" We can, but we're not going to.
Yeah, Trump wouldn't dare try to deport old boy, because then all the cards will fall in the house.
Yeah, they got too much dirt on each other. That's why they chilled out with their little cat fight.
I agree, Stephanie. They need to make noise about that shit.
Yeah.
But it's in the court systems. It's already been, they have like whatever, they have their preliminary hearing to see if they're going to allow the case to move forward in Rockland County, New York. They've already had that, and the case has progressed beyond that point. So if they'll get it squashed or Trump go after the law firms that are supporting it or whatever, that remains to be seen. But do they have enough evidence to get the case heard? The answer is yes. So when motherfuckers start dying and shit, like Elon Musk hangs himself with his shoestrings or some shit, then you know.
Then you know what's going on. You know shit's getting sick.
Yeah. Or now I'm not depressed at all. So if I wind up dead tomorrow and shit, then I was not depressed and didn't kill myself.
Yeah, I said too much.
Right.
Yeah, man. But yeah, so that's where things are. That's what's going on. And shit, man, it's just like I said, every time I work for this other company where I do podcasts for them called Arc Republic Media. That's strictly politics. And every time I'm getting ready to write a story for them and I'm working on a story, by the time I finish, so much other shit has happened that's literally changed the scope of the story I was working on. I got to start all over again, bro. I can't even keep up because this administration got so much wild shit going on at the same time. You know what I mean? That I'm like, damn, if I got to record something, I got to record it that day and try to get it out in a couple of days because it's not going to be relevant because the lies are so swift and so fast. Everything changed so fast. You're like, oh, they're not even on that no more.
And bear in mind that budget is still working its way through Congress. So motherfuckers ain't even talking about that right now. The big, beautiful bill.
The big, beautiful bill,
Yeah, that's still a thing. You know what I'm saying? But there's so much smoke to distract people and shit. And Christy Nome getting rushed to a hospital in an ambulance yesterday. Like, what? You know what I'm saying? No detail. Just Christy Nome rushed to emergency in an ambulance last night. Like, why? What's up with the big, beautiful bill and shit? You know what I'm saying? There's all this spaghetti getting thrown against the wall to see what sticks.
I'm not fully up on this story, Shannon, about the Karen Reed. I've seen that there's a documentary, and I've been meaning to watch it, a documentary about her case. So maybe I'll try to watch it now. But they said she was found not guilty for killing the Boston officer. But from what I saw just in the documentary previews, it like it was hella fishy. Please, let's talk about these Trump phones. Why?
Don't get that shit. Don't get that shit.
He just wanted to. He know they got Obama phones. He wanted to get Trump phones.
It's a distraction. The big beautiful bill is the story, nigga. The phone, like, why? For what reason would you do that shit?
Trump is grifting off of his supporters. Period.
I know. Yeah.
And this is another grift of his supporters, Stephanie. He gonna throw his name on anything, and they gonna buy anything he throw his name on.
They said he made 57 million in merch alone with the Bibles and all the shit that he's put out just before the election and shit like that. 57 million.
Yeah. And before we get out of here, did y'all see that sad ass parade?
I didn't even give it no energy. I wasn't gonna.
That's a waste of $45 million, bro.
Yeah,
$45 million, and you hear the wheel squeaking. That shit's so damn sad. You heard the wheel squeaking on the damn tank.
It is.
And then the army picks up the tab for the damage to the streets in Washington that's going to be done, which they said was a few $1 million.
Oh, y'all didn't hear about that?
Yeah, that was. He's been in the hospital for 2 days.
Yeah,
shit,
man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I told y'all too much stuff going. It's too much, man.
They're trying to.
The attorneys are trying to get him out of prison, but they said they're trying to kill him. That the guard gave him the OD amount.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I
some
did
crazy
not
shit.
know that.
Yep.
Oh damn! He said they are trying to kill him. He asked him to be
Yeah.
released immediately.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's deep. That's crazy. I didn't know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're trying to take my nigga R. Kelly out, man.
Yeah. They
Shit
said
crazy.
he fucking
I thought you
took
knew
the
about that.
meds.
It was everywhere. I
Out.
didn't know you didn't know.
They had to come and rush him to the hospital. He's been hospitalized for 2 days and all that shit.
Donna, I agree. She said that money could have went to homeless vets. I agree. That's I'm like 45 million for that trash ass parade. First of all, the army didn't even look like they wanted to be there. They was marching so half-assed.
Yeah.
And you know those parades are supposed to be about the spectacle of looking lockstep. Like if you see those
Right.
Korean parades and you see
Mhm.
they be like looking like they be doing steps, they be making shapes, they be
They
making
better not fuck up.
yeah. But hey, bro, them soldiers was just like they was walking.
Yeah.
They was doing a brisk walk. They wasn't marching nothing. You know what I mean? Isaac, what up, Isaac? He said they did not want to be there.
Then Trump threw Hexeth under the bus about the shit because they weren't marching with enthusiasm. So he attacked the fucking he attacked Hexeth. Like Hexeth is out there training to, you know, drilling the troops and shit. Like, how the fuck did you let this happen? Like, nigga, I'm up here with you. What the fuck you talking about?
Yeah, they had zero form. Russia had jokes. Putin is an asshole. Keandra said, I heard they marched like that to show the sin. I did too, Keandra. That's what I'm saying. Like it was literally like they was looking like, man, like they was marching like, man, this some bullshit. That's what it felt like. Watching the whole parade, everybody looked like, man, this some bullshit.
Yeah.
You know how many antidepressants it would take? This is just a statement from his camp. The prison hasn't commented yet. Yeah, but yeah, man, that shit, like I saw that.
It was a couple of different. I know it was an antidepressant, but it was like I thought 2 or 3 different things. And but I don't know. I mean, what would the prison say? Yeah, we trying to get that nigga. He left out. He had some food on his stomach. You know what are they gonna say? But yeah, I mean, I don't know one way or the other. I was just repeating what they said about the OD, the level of meds that they gave him was like triple what he was supposed to have taken for the drug cocktail that he was given. So what that means, I only read what's on the internet. You know, the internet's true.
The internet went crazy about that shit, man.
Yeah.
That shit was wild.
Donna said it was a silent protest talking about the soldiers. Stephanie said, I saw a post where someone addressed why American military marchers are not as crisp as other countries. They said because the American soldiers have regular jobs in the other countries, that's all they do. Keandra said, and the song was about dissent too. Really? The song they marched to was about dissent. That's crazy. R. Kelly drank that Pruno, and they don't.
That nigga in solitary confinement and shit. He must be brewing his own shit.
Pruno.
That's hilarious. Nasty, I didn't know that, Keandra. I didn't know that the song they marched to was about dissent. Yeah, man. Like I said, that parade, it looked like. You talk about wanting to look like a dictator. That's what it looked like, and it was like the B movie version of a dictator. Yeah, it looked like everybody was bored. His wife was looking like shooting beams through him.
Yeah,
and people were yawning. It was bad.
I saw a meme that said he ordered his military parade from Temu and shit.
That's exactly what it looked like, bro. That's exactly what it looked like. It looked like it didn't even look like. It looked more like ROTC than the actual armed forces.
Damn.
It looked like some high school.
That's fucked up for the ROTC motherfuckers.
It's like Narbonne ROTC.
Hey, not too much. Not too much. Not too much. They did good that year when I was there. Shit.
But yeah, man. So yeah, that's why I say it's so much going on, bro. Like it's dumb. It's dumb. Like the stuff that we see and stuff we dealing with, you know, senators and mayoral candidates getting arrested for asking questions at press conferences. Y'all talk about this stuff don't look fascist. It look hella fascist right now.
But it's all 2025 plot shit. If you paying attention to that, you ain't paying
everything was in the 2025. Everything.
Yeah. So
everything.
The 2025 plot is underneath all this shit, and it's moving through the legislature right now.
Yep. She said not
in
even
one bill
from junior high. And like I said, that 45 million could have went to so many other places and so many other, you know, like the funny thing is you talk about waste and fraud, waste, and all
Yeah.
that. Like that
Yeah.
was waste. That was a waste.
Yeah,
45 million could have been spent. So yeah, Doge 45 million could have been spent so many other better places, man. And that's to me what makes this whole thing a joke. Oh damn, I didn't. Yeah, so in Minnesota, damn, like I told y'all, Willie, it's so much, bro. In Minnesota, there was an assassination of a lawmaker and her husband, and an attempted assassination of another lawmaker by a dude in a cop suit with one of those Timu masks with that fake mask on, and he had a list in his car of all the Democrats he was going to go kill, which to me that shit feel kind of fishy, like a movie. Like you literally got a list and you going and shooting people, and I was like, I don't know, but anyway, we are in a place where I think Trump has heightened everything terrible. And what I mean is, especially from like a political standpoint, like from political violence, from the rhetoric, all of those things, everything is heightened to a place where you're going to get more and more of this kind of stuff happening.
Absolutely. Because that motherfucker was a thoughtful motherfucker with good sense that was just a hateful motherfucker. But you can imagine all the crazy motherfuckers that he's going to trigger by doing that shit. And the people that think they can trigger a race war and all these different sets of mentalities and shit that take that blueprint and be like, oh shit, it's on. Or my dog told me to do the shit or whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? It sets a precedent that, oh my God, I just hate to see what could follow.
Yeah, it's scary out here, man.
Yeah.
It's scary and it's sad, and his response is sad because of course it's not presidential. You know what I mean? Like he's not calling the governor, you know what I'm saying? Just acting like a petulant child. Like our president acts like a petulant child. So even in times like this where he's supposed to step up and be presidential, he's deciding not to be. And that goes towards even more what you're saying, V-Ray, of like he's gonna continue to help push those kind of people who think like that to be like, I'm doing this for Trump, or I'm doing this for the country, or I'm doing this for the greater good. Right. You know what I mean?
Or my dog told me to do it. Shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Keandra, I agree with you. She said they 100% want a civil war. I agree. I feel like that's why a lot of stuff. ICE is like a government KKK. I'll never understand the purpose of these people rolling up on folks with masks and expect for people to just submit and give themselves. The schools need to mobilize and do whatever they can to keep these assholes from getting on their campus. All those kids are traumatized, not just Latino.
And it should be required that they show their faces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad that they are saying.
That's what I say. I say y'all better start putting that thing on y'all and say, I didn't know who it was. Get that thing on there.
Exactly. That would be my response. Oh, he was legit.
He ain't showing no ID, nothing. Yeah. He just ran up on me with a mask. I thought I was being robbed. I had that thing.
I got robbed last weekend, so shit. Now I'm on my due diligence.
Listen, Donna said he's making dictator decisions at a president level. I agree, Donna, 100%.
But this motherfucker's riding with him though. That's what I really don't.
Yeah. The only thing that's
and voters.
I'm gonna say the only thing that's like barely keeping the checks and balances alive is like holding on by a thread is those few judges who like, nah, this some bullshit. Yeah. That's it. Like that's barely like that's the thing keeping this democracy together. Not Congress, because Congress, what the hell they doing? Not a damn thing. You know, not the House. They ain't doing a damn thing. The only thing. Because he's basically been president by executive order. He ain't making none of this stuff law. He's not running none of this stuff through Congress. He basically just been president by executive order. So the judges, even some of the judges he appointed, thank God, barely holding them by a string. Like, bro, you got to calm down. No, you can't do that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Willie said California has a bill to force law enforcement to not have covered faces and have badges and uniforms. They ain't need to because this, like I said, you went up on the wrong one out here. According to Ion Inglewood Group, they rolled up in a white van on the Bray and Centinela. They said it was multiple unmarked vehicles that pulled up behind them. They even showed the pictures. Yeah. No, they rolling up on all kind of people. I seen, like I said, they rolling up on schools, rolling up on parents trying to pick their kids up. And again, they got a mask on. They in regular clothes, regular cars. They not even like
out-of-state license plates and shit. They ain't even like got U.S. government on their shit.
Willie said that's why January 6th happened. They were trying to incite a civil war. Yeah, it didn't turn out the way they thought it was. So yeah, man, I just want all my people, all my black people, protect your mental health. If you got a therapist, talk to them. And if you don't got therapist, try to get one. Try to find one. Because in this time, and I'm really not being funny, I'm being dead ass serious. In this time of all the stuff we dealing with, what we going through, and the way this country is going, and the anxiety that can be, you know, forced upon us with just dealing in this world, watching like sometimes I can't watch the news. I got to disconnect. That's probably why I don't know a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? But like, yo, protect your mental health in these moments. We have to, because we still got to be. We got to be some good, as my granddaddy used to say. We still got to be some good for the family. We still got to be some good for each other.
Get a carry license too.
Oh yeah, Willie said that's why. Wait, that is why Jason. Oh yeah. She said,
There you go, Willie.
This is hella real. As a woman, I'm not jumping in nobody's car. Get a pew pew that's my advice too, Willie. Get a pew pew.
Get a pew pew.
They'll start running up on your ass without a badge. After that, after a couple of them get pew pew.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna do that shit no more.
Hold on. I gotta do this. Get pew pew.
Not necessarily this time around, bro.
Oh, hold on, I got you, B.
I'll stand by mine 10 toes and 2 thumbs.
I take half a part. Don't put me on no name up there, but I take half a part.
Keanu said I have a black man therapist. He's a true. I have a black woman therapist. She's amazing, and she actually if you look at my stories for all music industry professionals for Black Music Month, she's giving like discounts. Yeah, she's giving discounts. So go check her out. Donna, you have to disconnect to protect your sanity sometimes. Listen, I'm telling you, like I literally have been like, all right, Donna, get your pew pew on. She said, I definitely conceal carry. It's too unsafe for females now. Yeah, Keandra, like I said, we are in a place where we got to protect our mental. That's why I'm so glad, luckily next week we having our 30th, we having our reunion on a cruise. So I get to go on a cruise with some of my high school chums. So I'm gonna go get to disconnect for a little bit, which I feel like I really need it. Cause like, you get to, and I don't know, you can attest to this, viewer, you feel like your head is literally full.
Yeah.
Like you feel like your head is literally
can't
full.
consume anymore.
Yeah. And that's the point that I'm at. So that's why I'm like, again, a lot of the stuff that I usually would be up on, like stuff that Shannon is saying, like with the read, like I'm like, I can't even get up on everything because I'm like, it's overwhelming, it's too much, and it's all moving too fast, and I kind of got to take a breather and got to take a break so I could be present for the people that really, really matter.
Yeah, and you got to take a break from being enraged all the time too,
bruh.
A lot of this shit is so fucking blatant that it's like the only response is outrage.
Oh, Keandra, I wish you could be there, man. I'm gonna miss the little homie. He's one of my classmates since 6th grade.
Damn.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right, Keandra. We do. We have to. That's why I said we got to protect our mental, and that's why I always say it at the end of these shows because it's very important. We got to protect our mental health because you don't want, all this stuff going on in the world. It all takes a toll on us, all of it. You know what I mean? So. Hey man, thank everybody for joining the show. This was great, Keandra. You better have your butt back on the show when I know you be busy, super professor. I know you be busy, but it was good to have you on. Good to have your insight. Joining some more of the homies, Shannon, Stephanie, the usual suspects. Willie,
Mars Blackman.
Mars. It's good to have. Hey, I feel like we like a little family now in regards to this show. You know what I'm saying? So the Wild Thoughts family. Oh, Donna, of course. She said, thank you for being so welcoming and willing me. Anybody who come to the show and got something to say that makes sense, Donna, we with it. We want to hear it. Let me know the times. All right, so we about to be real black. All right, it's going to be between 7:20 and 7:40 on Wednesdays. That's about the time we log on.
That's the blackest answer you can give.
Just start lining up at 7:19.
Thank you for subscribing, Donna. We hope to see you back. We appreciate your insight too. We appreciate your input in the show today. Love being here. I'm gonna be here every time I can be here. Okay. And you know what? What I've been doing is I've been tagging everybody who's usually on the show. I'll tag them on my Facebook when I start. So I'll start tagging you too, Keandra, so you can know when to tap in. All right, man. This has been Wild Thoughts. This has been a great show. Thank everybody for joining. Good to have Mars here for the whole show. You know what I'm saying? And he about to turn to a pumpkin because it's past midnight in New York. So, so we want to thank everybody again, man. This was great. Love all y'all input. Felt good. We'll see y'all next time. Oh,
Hopefully.
Wild Bunch is gonna be playing the Juneteenth festival in Anaheim this weekend. So check on Wild Bunches.
Great Park is the name of the spot.
Tell them again.
It's Great Park.
Great Park.
Yeah, the name of the park. It is it Anaheim? I thought it was let me look at this one.
Well, OC Anaheim.
Oh yeah, it's definitely Orange County.
Yeah.
We're at Great Park. Irvine. It's Irvine.
Irvine. Yeah.
Irvine.
So Great Park Irvine. Blessings to you too, Donna. Yeah. So and then next on the 25th, next Wednesday, we not gonna have a show because that's karaoke night because we had to move it from Thursday. So next Wednesday, damn, that came fast. Next Wednesday gonna be karaoke night. And if y'all want to have a birthday party, y'all want to get a table, please hit me, hit V-Ray up, hit Damon up, so we can tap y'all in and get y'all plugged in. Free before 9:30 with RSVP. Just make sure y'all hit that link in RSVP and you can get in free. And if, like I said, you want to do a birthday party, hit us up and we'll make sure we get y'all a table and your own guest list. All right. Or even if it's not a party, you just want to bring your own party with you. It don't have to be a birthday party. If you say, hey, I just want to party with me and my peoples, hit me up and I will get you a table and a guest list of up to 15 people for free. Because we just want to have a good time.
On Saturday, we're going at 2:30 as well.
2:30 Saturday. If you're in the Irvine area, come check us out. Yeah. And Wild Bunch is very grateful for all y'all support and keeping us working because we've been working very steadily. And I appreciate it. Knock on wood. Thank God for that. Thank God for y'all and all y'all support. All right. Until next time, we're out of here. Wild Thoughts.
Stop the world, let me off. I don't like this destination. I like a transfer to the express line. I gotta get off. Electric slide into the devil doors of life. Things are changing and it ain't the way I like. On the replay, wish I could get a replay. Don't mean to hold ya, but I wanna do over. Gas up the ship, shoot me a text and let me know when it is time. I wanna get off, I wanna get off. 1 star, would not recommend that we go far from here. I wanna get off, I wanna get off.